Artificial intelligence isn't some far-off future thing on college campuses. It's here, right now. And in this explainer, we're going to look at how it's completely changing the game for students from the inside out.
And I mean, we are not talking about a small group of early adopters here. A recent global survey found that a staggering 86% of university students are already using AI tools in their schoolwork. It's not a fringe technology anymore. For many, it's just part of the toolkit.
But here's the catch, the really tricky part. Even though almost everyone is using it, they're basically flying blind, trying to figure out this powerful new technology all on their own.
And this number? Well, this is where it gets really concerning. Get this, only 5% of students say they actually know their university's rules for using AI. Think about that. That is a huge disconnect between what students are doing and what the official policies are, leaving pretty much everybody in this weird gray area. Okay, so let's really dig in here. First up, just how deep does this AI rabbit hole go for the average student?
Well, it turns out a couple of big names are really running the show. ChatGPT is the clear king of campus. 2/3 of students are using it. And yeah, tools like Grammarly and Microsoft Copilot are definitely in the mix, but it's pretty obvious that one major AI is shaping this new student reality more than any other.
So with everyone using these tools, it brings up this huge central question that students, professors, and parents are all wrestling with. Is AI this incredible new tool that supercharges learning, or is it just a cognitive crutch that actually holds them back?
You see, it's a real double-edged sword, right? On the one hand, AI can be an amazing assistant. It helps students brainstorm when they're stuck or makes a complicated idea finally click. But on the other side of that coin, there's a real danger it becomes a hindrance. We're talking about things like cognitive offloading, basically letting the AI do the heavy lifting, which can lead to a loss of critical skills and even creativity. And this is the real worry that researchers have. It's this idea that if AI just hands you the answer, you're skipping the struggle, and that struggle, that mental workout, is actually where the deep learning happens. You bypass the process that builds those lasting analytical skills.
And this chart, it shows you exactly what that reliance looks like in the real world. The top uses are all about efficiency, finding info fast, checking grammar, summarizing long texts. Now, these are definitely helpful shortcuts, but they're also the very tasks that traditionally help build foundational academic skills.
But what's really fascinating is that students get this. They're not oblivious to the risks. More than half of them are openly worried about this exact problem. They feel that tension between the quick, easy help AI offers and what it might cost their education in the long run.
So you take this internal struggle that basically every student is facing, and you zoom out. What you start to see is a much bigger, system-wide problem taking shape across the entire campus.
It's something experts are calling the AI literacy divide. And this isn't just about who can get their hands on the latest tools. It's about a deeper gap, a gap in the skills, the knowledge, and honestly the confidence to use these tools well. And troublingly, this gap often follows the same old lines of social and economic inequality.
And the data from one study is just wow. It's incredibly stark. Over 93% of students who were not the first in their family to go to college used AI on assignments. But for first-generation students, that number just craters, all the way down to under 15%. That's not a gap. That's a chasm.
And a quote like this just puts a human face on those numbers, doesn't it? It shows you that the barrier isn't always about access to a laptop. Sometimes it's about confidence, it's about your prior tech experience, and it's that fear of messing it up when you don't have anyone to guide you.
So what's causing this gap to get even wider? Well, it's a few things. It's about who can afford the paid, more powerful AI subscriptions. It's about who comes to college already comfortable with technology. And it's even about biases that can be baked right into the AI models themselves, which could put certain students at a disadvantage from the start. Okay, so we've got all these challenges, the risks to learning, the ethical messes, this growing digital divide. So where do we go from here? What's the path forward for students and universities?
Well, one of the most powerful ideas out there is to completely rethink how we grade students. It's called process-based assessment. And the big idea here is to stop focusing so much on the final paper, which an AI can write pretty well, and instead grade the student's journey of thought. How did they research? What was their reasoning? That becomes what's valuable.
But for this to work, universities really have to step up. They need to create clear, simple rules so students aren't left guessing. They need to actively teach AI literacy to everyone to help close that divide. And, like we just said, they need to redesign how they grade to reward the human process, not just the AI-assisted product.
And really, what this does is it completely reframes the student's role. They become the pilot of their own education. And in this new world, AI isn't the cheat code or the crutch, it's the co-pilot. It's a powerful navigator, sure, but the student is always the one at the controls, providing that crucial, unique human perspective.
And all of this, it leads us to one final, really big question that's going to define the future of learning. In a world where AI can give us the answers to almost anything, what then is the point of a university education? That's the question we're all going to have to answer together.